Good morning. Welcome to Hopefully Here. My name is Hope. As always, super stoked to have you. It is Wednesday. This is going up on Friday, TGIF. And we are talking about, we had to remove this post as recommended by Jen Campbell, who is a British booktuber. I've actually done an entire video reading book recommendations from her, simply because when I looked at the books that I was picking up from the library, they were all based on her recommendations. So if you want to see more from me reading Jen Campbell's stuff, there is a video for that. But this is a tiny, sweet and short, sweet is not the right word, but short little novella. It took me no time at all to read. But before we get into it, I want to try making a cookie butter latte. And I figured, why not do it here? We can see if it's worth your time. I go to Trader Joe's as often as I can. It's one of the best grocery stores, so well priced, and I really like the quality of their stuff. But they have been out of cookie butter, and apparently have permanently discontinued the crunchy cookie butter, which is very upsetting. So I found an alternative. Lotus Biscoff, which is still delicious, but you know, Trader Joe's and cookie butter, it's like a thing, you know? And so we are going to give this a try. It is coffee, milk, cookie butter. It does come, like if you look at the picture, obviously it's a very fancy picture. So it comes with whipped cream and cookies on top. I'm not going to do the whipped cream or the cookie on top because one, I don't like whipped cream, and two, I don't have that. I would totally eat the cookie though if it was available. So we're just going to do the actual drink part, and I'm very excited about it. Let's make some coffee and steam some milk. First sip. I feel like it could use a little bit more cookie butter. And obviously if you had the cookie and then the drizzle and stuff, you would get more of that. But if I make it again, and I will, I'll know to add just a little bit more cookie butter. But otherwise, I think it could be really good. Okay, here we go. The star of the hour. We had to remove this post by Hanna Bervoets, and it is translated by Emma Rault. Doesn't say what language it's translated from. And this book follows Kaylee, who is a content moderator for some big company, which means any post or video that is flagged as offensive has to come to her, and she has to either approve it, flag it, or delete it. And there are these guidelines that they need to follow in order to make these decisions, but the guidelines are really, they change from post to post, and it's a really interesting look at what having to see all of this offensive material does to her psyche. And you can see it really change the people around her and how they start to respond to certain situations or how they start to buy into certain conspiracy theories. It's fascinating. And then beside that, you have the story of her getting into a relationship with one of her coworkers. And it's just a really interesting look at relationships and how the dynamics can change and what happens when you maybe don't see eye to eye with your partner. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, super quick to read. Not only is it a tiny book, but the font is pretty decently sized. So it took, I don't know, maybe like an hour and a half to read. It's 135 pages or so. And what really got me thinking is, first of all, obviously very relevant for the times. Somebody out there is actually doing this job, and I can't imagine. And the writing in this book is incredible. There were times when I physically felt queasy. Like they would describe the video that they were having to moderate on or make a decision on, and the content that they were having to watch, and it made me uncomfortable. Not even just like the idea that these videos could exist, that somebody thought, yes, let's get the camera out and film something like this, and then knowing that people out there would watch it. It's very uncomfortable. It made me feel really gross, and it's so fascinating because in the real world, in this world, I imagine there are people actually doing this job, and I cannot fathom what that would do to your mental health. There is a look at, so Kaylee is remembering her time working for this company. A lawyer has been in contact, and he is trying to move, I think, forward on like this class action lawsuit or something against the company for these workers because of the work environment that they're in. And she is recounting her experience to the lawyer, but says, but I'm not going to be part of this lawsuit. I'm going to tell you why. And then she goes through why she won't be part of it by recounting what happened to her. And it's just a weird thing to know that this is real. Like, it's fiction, but it's real. And it's very well done, very quick, page turner. And I think that if you can get it, so the little blurb at the top is, what is normal, what is right, and who gets to decide? And like, media right now has so much power over the decision making and what is deemed as proper and correct and what is thought of as less than. And it's just crazy how much power they have, even though, you know, a person with a moral compass would look at something objectively and think that is wrong. But when you look at it through the guidelines of these critiques, it's not necessarily that black and white. And anyways, that's what I have to say. This is such a good little book. One of the shortest books on this challenge, and I was very happy to get through it. So I know this is a really quick video because length of book, and I don't have a lot of B-roll or anything, but I do now have my cookie butter latte that I think I'm gonna add a little bit more cookie butter to. And I will see you in the next video, which I think is gonna be on Monday, because I think this is going up on a Friday. I hope you have excellent weekends, and I will see you later. Bye.